In the heart of El Salvador, behind towering walls and electric fences, stand a fortress unlike any other, the Centro de Confinamiento del Terrorismo, or SECOT, built to house tens of thousands of the nation's most feared criminals. This mega prison is both a symbol of power and a source of controversy. Inside, life is stripped to the barest essentials. No family visits, no contact with the outside world. Only cold concrete and constant surveillance. This is not just a prison. It is a weapon in a war against gangs that once terrorized the nation.
Crime Tracker.
Built in 2022, this massive prison is made up of 8 separate modules spread over 410 acres of land. Each pair of modules is enclosed by 2 3-meter-high walls with razor wire. The entire facility is surrounded by a towering 9-meter-high wall with a 3-meter-high electric fence carrying 15,000 volts. There are 19 watchtowers to ensure that nothing escapes. The entire design doesn't just prevent escape, it totally erases the idea of it. Over 600 soldiers work solely to secure the perimeter. The high-capacity X-ray scanner at the entrance scans you to the bones, ensuring that no one sneaks in anything forbidden.
Hello.
Hello, we have permission from the presidency.
We are going to leave all of our belongings here before entering the prison. We will only carry our cameras and microphones, that's it.
Pass slowly. Look at the camera. The body scan.
I forgot my wedding ring on.
Well, that needs to be put away over there. The inmates used to swallow some objects, or they would try to bring them in vaginally or anally. Micro SD memory cards, microchips, and not only that, even phone charges.
Another thorough body search has been conducted.
Take off your shoes.
They even inspected inside our socks. It took us around 1 hour just to pass through security, even though we were invited as media after months of applying.
Guards are wearing masks because they're doing a risky job here. So if they get identified, it might be riskier for them to go to town centers because these gangs, they have a lot of connections. So they have to keep their identity secret. Why don't you wear a mask?
I have to talk to them face to face, looking them in the eye. They already know who I am.
Also present in this facility is a registration room. When criminals are captured on the streets, they usually have no means of identification on them. That is why their fingerprints and photographs are taken here to enroll them in the system. Once they become a permanent part of SECOT, the inmates lose contact with their family and loved ones for the rest of their lives, as family visits are strictly forbidden. Take a look at what the armory part of the prison looks like.
The type of firearm we use is a T65 rifle, similar to the M16 rifle. We also have this other firearm, which is a 12-gauge shotgun. A Sig Sauer rifle allows us to maneuver in spaces that are too tight to move.
Whenever criminals are arrested and dragged to the bus, various cuffs and chains are used to restrict their movement and minimize the risk of harm to officials.
Has there ever been a riot?
So far, there have been no escape attempts. We have the worst of the worst within criminal organizations here.
The riot gear consists of head protection, face gear, neck protection, an anti-trauma vest, leg protection, shin guards, and a shield.
Since this prison is so large, we have to hop on this bus. We are entering the module area.
To keep the country safe, 1,000 staff members work in the prison facility. SECOT was built with its own infrastructure in an isolated area, including its own electrical and sewage systems, to prevent any form of external interference. In cases where there is an electricity cut or water supply issue, the system and power plants will maintain operations for up to a week. Now, these are the faces of the ones considered to be the most dangerous people on Earth. There are 32 cells in every one of the 8 modules making up the mega prison. Each cell holds around 80 inmates, but the number can go as high as 150. Despite not being at full capacity, the inmates only have 0.5 square meters of personal space. The prisoners do not have any ventilation rights or courtyards to walk outside their cells. This open corner is their toilet area. There are 2 toilets shared by 80 inmates. Where they use the toilet is also where they take showers. To clean themselves, they use plastic dippers in a single shared basin. There is no running water in the cell, so the prisoners have to rely on one blue barrel for drinking water. They sleep on metal bunks, no pillows, no mattresses. Each prisoner receives just the bare essentials: a white sheet, a uniform, socks, slippers, and a towel. The prisoners spend their entire days on 4-level bunk beds, tightly stacked in cells. For hygiene, the inmates are shaved every 2 weeks by personnel because long hair isn't just unhygienic, it can also hide harmful objects. Most of the inmates have tattoos covering their entire bodies, including their faces, showing their loyalty structure. Having gang tattoos on the face is a clear sign that they belong to the most ruthless criminal organizations in the world. Crossing paths with such people on the street is more like staring death in the face. A spiderweb tattoo represents being caught in the web of justice and serving a long prison sentence. The devil horn tattoo is a dark symbol that represents the individual's worship of the devil. Some even claim that they carry out their crimes under the devil's command. A teardrop tattoo signifies that the person has ended someone's life. The number of teardrop tattoos they carry signifies how many lives they have ended. Guards consistently watch over the inmates from an elevated spot above the cells, so they can swiftly intervene if anything suspicious occurs. An extensive network of cameras observes every corner, 24/7, ensuring that nothing goes unnoticed. The cells are well lit, whether it is day or night, because they are constantly being watched. If the prisoners want to sleep, they have to cover their eyes with their towels. They have sessions where they listen to a preacher. They also have physical training sessions. All of this sums up to just 1 hour per week. The rest of the time, they are locked inside their holding cells. When it comes to how they feed, the inmates eat pretty much the same thing every day. Their diet lacks protein, which may lead to nutritional deficiencies in some of them. This is the isolation cell. If an inmate misbehaves, he ends up here. Because it is always dark, he wouldn't know the time or how long he would be kept there. He sleeps on the concrete bed. In a nation once held hostage by fear, Sakot stands as a statement, bold, unrelenting, and unforgiving. It is the consequence of years of bloodshed, extortion, and broken lives. But consequences don't belong to criminals alone. Every decision, every crackdown, every silence, every life stripped of dignity carries its own weight. In a quest to end violence, has a new kind of violence emerged? El Salvador has acted. The world is watching. And history will remember not just what was done, but how it was done. Thanks for watching.
Crime Tracker.